really big things happening in the world right now regarding America's interventionist strategies to imperialism in Iran. How's that for accidental alliteration? Haha, it's alliteration. Starts with an A, goofball. But not what I'm here to talk about. Um, I love the gays. I love the gays. Like a lot. Anybody who's kept up with my stories at all would know that I have very much. There's a whole lot of gays in my family. Um, I had my aunt John died of the HIV in, I kind of want to say 2000. I think 2008, 2009ish. Um, and then there's my uncle Debbie, who uh deserves her own video. Honestly, deserves the ladies live the life. Um, but I got to talk about the Shia LaBeouf situation because it's happening, and um, at the end of the day, it sounds like, and it's being presented most particularly on Facebook as a I hate the gays, so I beat them up, is what it sounds like. But what's actually being said is that he was allegedly being sexually assaulted by three men, and he was by himself and panicked. You know, which, if the situation were any like, if my daughter was being grabbed at by three men and it turns out that she got arrested for whooping those three men's butts, I would not be disappointed in my daughter. And Shia LaBeouf's not, like, he's not a big dude. He's fit, he's healthy, you know. Um, but I would not be disappointed in my daughter for fending off three potential attackers. So I don't think that we should be mad at Shia LaBeouf for potentially doing the same. Should we wait for more information? Yes, because it's very easy when someone's um, sexually deviant, as they say, uh, because there's this hypersexualization of the homosexual community that goes back thousands of years in our where it's like, oh, they're all the homosexuals are hypersexual, and they're a threat because of their hypersexuality, and that's not fair, and it ain't right, it's not correct. um so there's a lot that goes on here. It'd be real easy for him, or anyone, to just go beat up some of the queers, and then say, oh well, they were coming on to me. So there's it, because of the many, 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 many decades of just the public opinion, I guess, about such people. And I recently actually watched the thing where they were like, we need to have less sexualized homosexual representation, because in most media, it's such a stereotype persists. It's like only portraying African American folks as violent in movies and TV, and I'm also, I'm a comedian, so I know that in certain contexts stereotypes are fun and funny. So, but this is real life. This is not a movie. This is we're playing for points. So we need more information as to exactly what happened to Mr. Shia LaBeouf. before things go nuclear. You know, it's very important that we know exactly what happened to Shia LaBeouf before humankind obliterates itself with nuclear armaments. This thing's stuck here. I don't know how to fix it. It's that one. Okay, so I undo it, and then if I do it again, it came right in the same exact spot. I don't know. If you feel differently or understand differently, you know, I'm not here to hate. How do I move this to where? There we go. Hey, look at that. I got it back to where it belongs. Okay. Ha ha. Okay. But it also kind of feels like part of the distraction of Operation Epstein Fury, as it is not now being called. Strange timing, and society, a lot of people in it want to hit a reset button. They want to go back. They want to cancel progress, and people don't understand that that's a progressive take. The people who identify themselves these days as conservatives are in fact social progressives. Well, I would argue they are social regressives. You know, if they want to limit freedoms, but to want to change the status quo is progressive, and the way things are is not the way things have always been. There are certain people of vocal minority who want to just not hang with, but just hang anybody who's, again, deviant from what they consider normal. And I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I strongly disagree with the idea of sundown towns and, well, that's how we want to operate our area. It's like, yeah, I don't think that's good. But again, this is not not saying that that's necessarily what happened. It's easy for him to say that that's what happened because of the history behind it and the hypersexualization of any kind of sexual deviance that has been portrayed in our media and society for a long time. You know, I'm not in charge of anything. It's not my call. It's not up to me to decide whether he's punished or not. It's got nothing to do with me. But my life has very little to nothing happening right now. So I figured I would talk about these things, knowing that they are important to a lot of other people. And I look forward to more information coming out. We're just a few months away from the Carmelo Anthony trial beginning. That's a very important thing to happen. Let's not forget. Can we stop subjecting people to, like, if you feel a certain way, if you have a certain way of living, you know, you are allowed and in fact encouraged, you know, to live your life as best as you can and promote whatever you want on your property in your areas. But you have to understand that everyone on this planet is, there are almost, what are we at, like 7-8 billion people They're not going to exist the way you want them to. And as a probably autistic person, I fully understand that other people get in the way. I get that. But just as much as the gays should be allowed to exist in spaces, the Shia LaBeouf should be allowed to exist in spaces without the concern of being assaulted, sexually or otherwise, in my humble opinion. And this kind of stems from the fact that I kind of been realizing that, ideologically, my kid's mother and I align in a lot more ways than we separate. We've and I don't know. I've never been one of those guys that shouted from the top of my lungs, "No regrets," because regrets are good. You got to have those. It means you're thinking. It means you care. I don't know. I'm getting skinny. I'm not supposed to be this skinny. I need food. I need income. I need money. I need work. I do everything that AI does. Everything that AI is, that feels like a personal attack to me in a lot of ways. Because hey, that's my job. I'm a storyteller, graphic designer, editor, producer, comedian. I don't know. I've seen some of these AI jokes, and it's like, yeah, they understand the format of the joke, but they don't understand like the I don't want to say context because jokes don't really require context, but the meat of it, the meat of the joke. They don't. AI does not care if it causes harm. AI does not care because AI is AI. AI is not. It's not AEI. It's not artificial emotional intelligence. AI is not built to care. Hmm. Hmm. Um. Sorry, Iran. Uh, and that one Iranian lady that I know. It's it is horrible. Uh, if I could stop it, I would. Um, Kind of ties into the whole people should be allowed to do. Now, also brutal dictatorships are bad. I mean, I like universally in pretty much anybody able to demand it. It's I don't know. Nothing I think matters. I'm not going to change the world. I'd like to, but it takes a lot more than just me, and I can't even get you people to cooperate with me to help keep me alive. So, what makes me think that you'll listen to me and want to live better lives? I don't know. Sad. And then for the president to just go up on the TV and be like, "Yeah, well, listen, some of your kids are not going to be here tomorrow, but we're going after Iran. My kids are going to be fine. Your kids will probably die." Not good. Worst president ever. I don't know how, but I do know how. It's because we are at a pivotal. Every day is, and then if you look back on history, it's all pivotal. It's all transitional. It's all, are we progressing or are we regressing? I don't know. Don't know. I'm gonna do this though for just 1 second. I mean, not just 1 second. It's gonna be a lot more than 1 second. Well, no, not ready for that yet. I'm just anxious. I don't know, man. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So what's gonna happen is I've brought this up before on the channel. Is what are we gonna do if we can prove there's no God and there's no aliens? What then? All the war stuff makes less sense if we're the only intelligent species in the universe. It makes a lot less sense in that case. Hold on. Why are you not in the group? Oh, because I've not selected the whole group. Let me just boop, boop, boop. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you know what? We can do it this way, maybe? No, 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 no. Because I need this to come with it. Can I select? Yes, yes, I can. So, all right, we got the. Now we're gonna move it just right there. No, right there. Right there is good, right? Okay. What are we gonna do when we find out there's no afterlife? There's no final justice. There's no aliens coming to save us or show us how to be better. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna keep doing these wars? Of course. Gotta fight for control. And good ideas don't require fighting to instill them. You don't if you have a good idea, you don't have to resort to threats or intimidation to get what you want from people. You just have to have a good idea and it just works. Good ideas just work. That's the thing. Even stupid people know that good ideas just work. That's if it requires extra effort, it's probably not a good idea, you know? But that might just be me being lazy, I don't like extra effort required for anything. But in my opinion, good ideas just have a way of taking hold. They just work. And if you cannot express your ideas or opinion without the need to cause harm, then it's probably not that good of an idea, you know? Like why couldn't we just kidnap the guy? We did that with Venezuela. We kidnapped that guy, no problem. We didn't even know until it was done. It was like, hey, we got this guy. Like, what'd you get this guy for? And that was bad too. The problem is with global dominance, even if we can get everyone under the rule of one leader, it they would they would still have to be a leader. They'd have to be like smart and capable. There's in the military specifically, NCOs. They got these guys who go into like colleges and study how to be leaders and then get thrown into situations and it turns out they actually don't know the fuck about leading, and soldiers particularly from what I know would rather follow like, okay, so there's like a dark tunnel with a burst pipe. And some guy says to you, listen, we're gonna go fix that pipe. Initially you're probably gonna be like, I don't want to go do that. That's crazy. It got nothing to do with me. But then the guy's like, listen, 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 I've done this 1,000 times. I know what I'm doing. I just need your hands and I'll fucking do most of the work. It's like, okay, 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 I'll go and help you out. But then if the guy tells you, oh no, I read about this in 1,000 books, it's kind of like, I'm not going with you, dude. That sounds like a dangerous situation for us both. Shouldn't we find someone who's actually plumbed before? I don't know. Rather than someone who's just read about it, I don't know that I would follow somebody into battle knowing that they've never been in a battle? But that also raises a problem of perpetual war then. We would need perpetual war in order to have capable soldiers, which, I mean, in my lifetime, we've never not been at war. When I, like, shortly after I was born, the Gulf War started, and then there was Kosovo, and then America's been at war with itself, like Timothy McVeigh and Ruby Ridge, and those were white supremacist guys, but remember, they're not necessarily, they're not all victims. And I mean, the Ruby Ridge, there's a whole lot of Tulsa. I think it was Pittsburgh. I want to say Pittsburgh also got bombed by American military, or Philadelphia. It might have been Philadelphia. I'm thinking it's Philadelphia. So I don't know, man. And then you got whistleblowers being assassinated. It's what's right, what's wrong, and that's one of the first things that people, that like a judge will ask you, or a cop, is, don't you understand right from wrong? And it's like, well, I think I do, mostly. But then if you say, no, I don't understand right from wrong, you're just a psycho. You're a psychopath, and you're dangerous. But that's it. Like, if you honestly admit, hey, I literally do not know right from wrong. I'm figuring it out as we go, and sometimes things that seem right turn out to be wrong, and sometimes things that feel wrong are as right as rain. Ooh. And then so you come back to, who decides what anyone deserves? Who gets to decide that? Sorry, that was me. I gotta stop trying to do that. Ugh. Mm, I don't know, guys. I'm doing my best, kinda. Like, there are certain ideals and ideas that I instilled within myself, in, like, a man, a person, a human being, regardless of if what your gender is, should not have to beg the state for their rights. They should not. Rights is explained in to me in the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Inherent, kind of, you just have them. But then there's also the, well, if you don't have any rights you're not willing to defend. And sometimes it feels like we have no rights at all. And trust me, I've tested this. I've tested things top to bottom. Well, as close to the top as I've ever been allowed. And I don't know. I don't know. What can we do to make this a better world? Uh, and you think that, like, everyone wants that. But again, we go back to what's better. Better for who? Better why? Better how? Better at whose expense? Better compared to what? There's so much. I don't know. And I'm too skinny to do anything about it. I don't. I am 100% malnourished. I just had to eat cookies to get food in me that wasn't ramen, because ramen cookies have a higher nutritional value than fucking ramen noodles. What can I do? And I have to ask because I'm out of ideas. Someone's got to know whether I'm right or wrong. And if I'm right, I need resources. And if I'm wrong, I need to be corrected. But it's not I don't understand. Because every time I've been to a correctional facility, things got less correct. Things got a lot worse than correct. By most people's standards, there's nothing correct about corrections. And it's crazy how we can just forget that there's people locked up being abused right now in this country by our countrymen. Denied food, denied freedom, denied exercise, denied basic human rights. Well, because they did a crime. They did a crime. Crime. Who decides what's crime? Hold on. Do we trust these institutions really? Do they really care about us and have our best interests at heart as a group or as individuals? I don't think they do. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye.